So there are some good things I want to talk about MongoDB or NoSQL, and there's some issues I want to talk about. I'll first go over the positives, then go over the negatives. But first, what is MongoDB or NoSQL? MongoDB is a NoSQL database, which you pretty much store documents. I'll try to explain this in non-technical terms. It's pretty much like you create a Word document like this, and which would be like a collection in the NoSQL database terms, and you give it a name called like users, and then you put records in it. For example, you can put like in MongoDB, it would auto give you an ID such as this. It'll give you like an ID, and it'll have like an object ID with a whole bunch of random numbers and stuff, numbers and letters really. And then you can have like your own values in that, such as name, test, and then like age, or there's kind of stuff in the document. And you can also have like many of these documents and have such as users, records, such as this, and you can have many collections, kind of like a Word document with this whole bunch of data in it, but everything is JSON. Okay, so what's good about NoSQL, a NoSQL database? You don't need to worry about migrations or doing a full database change every time you want to change the schema. You can pretty much change the code in the back end, and it'll update and add new data or update data, and you don't need to really think about the database. You can just change and it'll make these changes, because these are all like individual schemas. Also, the cost can be pretty cheap. Well, it depends on the service you're using really, but generally it's quite cheap compared to like NoSQL or PostgreSQL, because they can be up like about $15 a month. But this is all kind of subjective though too, as if you are getting a lot of queries from MongoDB, the price could be higher, because some are you're paying per request, which could add up to a lot. If you put them both in the VM in a virtual machine, it's not really an issue at all, is it? I think it's probably good if you're doing like little apps, or maybe doing some logs, maybe a Discord bot. If you want to start a project that which you don't want to think about databases, something small, quick, kind of like that. Now for the part you've been waiting for. What's the problem with MongoDB or NoSQL databases? So I think the main issue is the schemaless aspect. Unlike an SQL database, you can more easily keep track of the database structure with the diagram, and also easily have a diagram generated for you if you don't have one. It's a bit more difficult with MongoDB. There are some, but there's not that many, and it's not, you can't get one automatically generated, such as in Mongo. If you use the MongoDB Compass, it's not built in to give you a schema for it. Things like that. But there are probably other programs that might be able to do it. You're pretty much making schema of Word documents. With NoSQL, the schema changes all the time. The code changes all the time. People don't document the stuff. The schema changes as you add, remove, update the data to the database. And since people don't document sometimes, it's really annoying to keep track of the changes and find the things that you want to write queries for. You'll have to like write a command like find one for one document, try to get the individual schema, what you're looking for. So you pretty much need to look for one element in here and try and find, and then get all the data for your schema, unless it's not documented with a diagram or such. It's a bit of a pain to look through all the data to try and get it, but there's probably better methods out there. You might know better methods. If you use an individual SQL database, you can look at a diagram and see the things that are connected, and they're all in tables. It's more visually easier to see as well and understand, rather than nested schemas that could vary from very small to very large changes. When I'm talking about the schemas, I mean like you have this Word document and you have the schema basically in here, and then you can have another one of these in there as well. For example, have next one nested in here, or and so on and so forth. They'll just go down, which could get pretty confusing or annoying if you're not keeping track of everything. So that pretty much sums up the main issues, mostly the schema. Also, you could just use like Postgres or MySQL and store the JSON data in the cell, like all this stuff, if you really wanted to. Then you pretty much got MongoDB, right? If you just store all your documents in a cell in the JSON. But MySQL, you would want to have it in tables, but you can pretty much kind of like replicate MongoDB by putting these JSON documents in a cell in MySQL. Anyway, that's just my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Maybe leave a comment below what issues you've had with NoSQL or MongoDB, or maybe you have some other stuff you want to share. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.